Let's check in right now with ODOT Kelsey Hoagland tonight. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So 2 to 4 inches doesn't really sound like a lot, but even that can be tricky. And I'll point to the turnpike, the deadly turnpike pileup involving dozens of vehicles last year. That was 1 inch of snow and 50-mile-per-hour winds.
That's definitely right, Melissa. That's something that we really have to think about when we're talking about, and you heard Chris say about the drifting snow. That's something that we really have to look ahead for. When we have especially this light powdery snow, it is a lot easier to blow. So it's something that we pay a lot of attention to here.
Is what you use to treat the roads going to be less effective with these colder temperatures than, say, if we were at 35 degrees?
We do definitely change the materials that we use based on the temperature. We are lucky in this case that we do have a lot of material that's already been on the roadway. We had almost dry pavements just a couple of hours ago before this latest flurry started. So we have a lot of salt material that's already been on the roadway that we've used to clean up in the last couple of days, and we expect that to help us as our first layer of defense here. But we do have plows already out on the roadway, so they're prepared for what's coming.
Yeah, the snow today didn't really give you a huge window to try to pre-treat the roads. So how are you guys tackling this in these last few hours before it starts to fall again?
Yeah, so like I said, we have the trucks out now. They don't necessarily have their plows on the ground, but they are applying material. They're probably applying rock salt mostly right now. But then once the storm actually does start, we might see those winds pick up. They might apply some liquids directly to the salt so that it's actually already activated once it hits the pavement. And that helps us actually be a little bit more proactive during a storm and actually when we're in the fight.
So what's going to be your main concern? The meteorologists are mostly concerned, I will say, about the morning drive. That's when a lot of the snow is going to be coming down. What's your concern as being the ODOT representative about that time frame as well?
Sure, yeah, well, so we have our crews out now. We will have our next shift coming in at midnight, so they'll be ready to work throughout the night. They'll be trying to keep pace, but you have to remember that here in District 2, which is 8 counties, we have over 3,800 lane miles. And so actually making sure that every single mile of our roadway system gets attention. It does take a little bit of time for the trucks to make these rotations. So we ask and encourage patience in the morning. If you have the opportunity to leave early, that's definitely best bet. Or if you can stay home, that's also the safest thing that you can do. So whatever the option is that's best for you, please just plan ahead so that you can get out on the roadway safely and get to where you're going.
Yeah, I'm sure it's also helpful to you if the buses aren't out there at the same time and people taking their kids to school. Kelsey, thank you so much, and also appreciate all the hard work that your crews do each and every time we get these storms.
Thanks so much. Take care.
You can always get the latest weather right at the tips of your fingers. Just download the WTOL 11 weather app to your phone. Our meteorologists send out updates every day.